Jonathan McDaniel with Victory Church from Poplar, Florida. And I'll be presenting an original sermon titled The Target on Our Backs. I have chosen scriptures 1 Peter 5:8, 1 Corinthians 16:13, Ephesians 6:11, and references to Hebrews chapter 12. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jonathan McDaniel, and I'm a walking target. Let me explain. While goofing around with my friends, I managed to be the only one to break my wrist. Sometimes, out of the blue, I get filled with anxiety and have a random panic attack. That's always fun. And my mom's personal favorite, I ripped my Achilles tendon from walking. Walking. Not playing a sport, not doing some goofy game, from walking. Now, I know that things happen, and that's just a part of life. However, all of these things happen just weeks or days before a Christian fine arts festival like this one. Christians can sometimes get it in their head that once they're saved, the devil will leave you alone. But the truth is, it's the exact opposite. When you become a Christian, you immediately get the devil's attention. And if you are bold enough to do God's work, you might as well put a big target on your back.
Yeah.
Paul was a perfect example of this. We all know the story of Paul. He faced more challenges and pain during his time of ministry than most of us will ever face in a lifetime. Paul was a walking target because of his boldness and his great works. Okay, Jonathan, so we've made ourselves targets. We've gotten the devil's attention. Now what? Well, you have a choice to make. The first choice is you can go hide in a corner and hope that the devil doesn't find you. 1 Peter 5:8 tells us, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." Yeah, that's scary, and fear is a powerful weapon of the enemy. But we have to remain more alert because the devil has been feasting like a king. That leads us to our second point. We can choose not to be afraid of the targets on our back. 1 Corinthians 16:13, Paul tells us to be on our guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong. Ephesians 6:11, put on the full armor of God so you can take a stand against the devil's schemes. Hebrews chapter 12, we are told to run our race and not to grow weary and lose heart. Paul didn't care that he had a target on his back. He kept running the race that God had prepared for him. We are to be alert and ready for these attacks so we don't become discouraged when the time comes. Jonathan, what makes you so sure being prepared will help? I left some details out of my story. These were not accidents. I was under spiritual attack. Let me fill you in. That time that I had a panic attack and didn't know why, it was just moments before I preached a sermon that moved more people than I could have possibly imagined. That torn Achilles that needed surgery, no thanks. Fully healed 3 days later in a prayer session. And that broken arm, just 2 weeks before I performed a human video that would teach people about Jesus, get this. That night, the x-ray showed that my wrist was broken in 2 places. But I demanded to come back the next morning and get another one because I knew that God would have healed it overnight. It was not easy saying that while the nurses laughed at me. But I am here to tell you that they could not find a single broken bone in this arm, no matter how many times they looked. We do not need to be afraid of this target on our backs, because we are doing what God called us to do. He will find a way for us to do it. And Paul knew this. Paul was beaten to the point that they dragged him out of the gate and left him there for dead. I know that sometimes we feel beaten down, broken, and half dead. But Paul did not stay down. He got back up and he kept running his race. Ladies and gentlemen, when you feel like you are under attack, you do not go and hide in that corner. You stand up and you say, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for the honor of serving you." The devil has no power over us, so you put on the full armor of God and you shut the devil down. He will not keep us from finishing our race. No, sir. You wear that target like a badge of honor and go out and serve God with a boldness like you never have before. Thank you.
Yeah.